Yeah, Vaishnav, I'm sounding like പാറപ്പുറത്ത് ചിരട്ട ഉരയ്ക്കണ പോലത്തെ വെച്ചാ അല്ലേ? അതെയോ? ഇത് നന്നായിട്ടുണ്ടെന്നോ? Which means I was not sounding all right all these days. I need to catch fever every time to sound good. Anyway, well, jokes apart, the prime reason why I got myself into, and a bunch of our guys in the studio too, into this kind of situation is this all-new Canon EOS C400. We got this amazing camera for just 2 days. One day to shoot and one day to probably do some product shots and things like that. And well, I have to definitely send this out. And we were shooting till very late yesterday, and it was raining, the place was dusty and there was smoke, and we all fell ill. Anyway, besides the point, I think it was all worth it because I'll show you the footage that we got. Now, I am not a regular cinematographer, a full-time cinematographer. I am a photographer who has great interest in cinematography, and I want to one day become a cinematographer. And I don't miss an opportunity to kind of work with toys like this when I get an opportunity. Well, Canon is not new to video. They were into Pro DV, and they were primarily, singularly responsible for the DSLR cinema making revolution. You know about the 5D story. And subsequently, they probably were the first guys to launch a dedicated digital camera line early in the 2010s. And well, we had the great opportunity to work with this amazing, well, I still have it, we still use it. This is the original, the C500, the Mark I with a PL mount. And we used to rent the PL mount, we still do, and we are in love with it. And subsequently, we also go to work with the mirrorless cameras, and the one which we are using today is one of our go-to cameras in the studio, the R5C. Everyone is in love with that camera too. So when this came, we all were equally interested and wanted to jump in and make that opportunity worthwhile. Now, I am not going to go into detailed technical specs. That's going to be a verbal diarrhea because this camera has a couple of pages full of really amazing technical specs. If that's what you are interested in it, well, then there are many videos that you can watch. I will tell you about how I felt about using this camera and things that I really liked about this camera, and I'll share the footage that we shot in that limited amount of time that we have, or we had rather, with this camera and this amazing new RF lenses. This is the first RF mount cinema lens from Canon. This is the CNRF. Okay. Well, Canon had sent 5 lenses to us, the 14, the 24, 35, 50 and the 85. We did not use the 14 because we were working in, very controlled indoors, so 14, no. These lenses were a real dream to work with. 1.3s and 1.5s and still holding on to so much of detail and depth, and so low in contrast. I can go on and on about these lenses, but what I have to talk about is about this camera. Well, this is the first full-frame professional RF mount camera from Canon. Of course, you can argue that the R5C is capable, but this guy is into Pro series. So Canon has placed it squarely at many brands which are, I don't want to go into those brands which Canon is probably targeting or pitting it against, but you know whom I am talking about. But this is amazing. Cinematographers, let me guarantee you, I know a handful of them, really top-end ones. They are not really the ones who go by the specs and get excited about specs and go and buy a camera because it's got high specs. Their requirement is how the image feels at the end of the day, and how easy is the camera to set up and start using. What are the kind of expansion it can do? Barring that, they don't really care. This is how I know serious cinematographers. Whenever I asked about technical specs and why he liked this camera against that, he said, look, please don't ask me, ask my assistant. I am a visual psychiatrist. Like one great, all-time great cinematographer said, they are into creating visuals. To such people, this is a delight, I must say, to work with. Well, I have also worked with the C300, the C300 Mark II, and also the C70, which I think is a highly underrated camera. I don't know why it was not picked up to the extent that it should have picked up, and I really like that camera. Now, this guy takes that game a notch higher by launching a full-frame 6K internally raw recording RF mount camera, the first one in true professional league. And the most important aspect of it is this amazing price. Well, I'll keep the price to the end. Oh, probably you already know. It comes in a package. It has this amazing handle. All professional cameras in this range have a handle, and they have a touch screen. Now they have changed it into a USB connection, so it carries audio, video, sound, power, everything. So this is amazing. There are no multiple cables hanging out and things like that. So this is less messy, and now they have gone into a square format, which all professional cameras are slowly becoming, like a box camera. By no means this is a small camera, and by no means this is a light camera, but it kind of fits in, and made of metal, aluminum alloy. That's something which I like about it, because this is going to be used in all possible kind of conditions, whether it's going to be put to utmost test. And the plastic bodies, well, I've handled a few. You knock it around and the body will crack. And this one, not really. This one has a build to last feeling, and it has the new battery because it's got a lot of expandability. Hence, it's got more powerful battery. I'm not going to technical, the BP A30 and the 60 and the kind of power it can deliver. You know it. And it's got many of these Q20s to expand, and because everything, including the handle, which comes in the by the way, in the package, the original package, you get a handle which has all the controls available, and you get this top handle with the smart touch panel, which is a color panel, it's touch panel. And of course, Canon has an amazing offer. I think it is an initial offer where you also get a 512 GB CF Express card and also a PL to RF mount adapter. How about that? Well, these two things itself cost a ton of money. You already know that. If you have worked with the R5C, getting started with the EOS C400 is like a breeze because they share the menu. Switch on and you have an easy to use, very simple menu. You can pick the resolution, you can pick the format, you can pick the tons of codecs that it offers, and of course the tons of resolution that it offers too. And all can be recorded internally. So it takes a CF Express card, and along with it, they also have an SD card. So while you are recording, let's say a 6K RAW, at the highest resolution, for which you can go only up to 60p, okay, you can actually record a low-res proxy. How about that? And you know how useful it is to get started with the edit. The 6K is a full frame readout. It also shoots 4K in UHD, during which you can shoot it in the codecs which are intra and long GOP. Now, they promise 120 FPS when you're shooting this at 4K UHD at 422 10-bit all intra. Well, it drops down to 60. Well, what else? The backlit panels, when you're shooting, especially in the dark, you have trouble looking at the, searching for the appropriate buttons. Now, these are backlited. This got a ton of buttons which can be programmed. There are some of them which are pre-programmed. There are more than one triggers, and and in case if you want to record outside, of course, you have an SDI option, you have an HDMI option. You dial the resolution that you want through that output or that protocol, and you get it. It is amazing. It also has a LAN port. It also can be powered externally. Well, I can go on and on and on. One interesting thing, well, we did not get time to kind of practice on that, is the amazing camera app which Canon has developed, which means remotely you can hook on to more than one set of cameras, the C400s, and seamlessly trigger them, copy them, do a data transfer and stuff. I'll add a link in the description, and if I get an opportunity to work with the C400 again, then I'll do a separate video for that app. Now, when I opened the body cap for the first time, I really got scared because the full frame sensor is staying so close to the lens mount, and well, let me caution you, be extremely careful when you unmount and mount your lenses, especially these biggies. So as you can see from the BTS, in the first instance when we worked with the C400 and the CNRF lens, I used just two lights, two 200 watts lights, couple of ambient, practicals, and a thermocol to kick the light back onto the face. I set the camera at 5000K and I kept the lights at tungsten, which is like 3850. I did not do any correction, and we shot the Canon log 2 at XF AVC422 all intra at 4K. Well, I'm telling you, it was brilliant. You take a look at like I said, I am not an experienced cinematographer, but I could really see what I'm getting. I could completely trust the sensor and the camera. Well, we don't have a real powerful Mac in the studio. We have a lot of Mac Minis. This guy actually played that footage. For safety, I had also recorded the proxy, but I didn't have to use it. So take a look at this video. It was easy. We used a slider, we used a tripod, we used two lenses, 50 and the 85, and this is what we got.
I see you struggle like butterflies in water, can't keep moving forward. I see your shoulders weighted down by armor. You don't need that protection. I would walk on glass, I would run 10,000 miles and more. I would give my eyes if you lost your sight. I would run through fire, I would carry you through the heat. I would do it all again if you needed me to. Wish that I could take away your pain like sunbeams in the
Now, the next interesting thing about the C400 is that it has an amazing improved autofocusing. Correct? So I wanted to try that. So we have this amazing, Canon had sent the 1535. I did not use that because it was too wide on a full frame for us. I used our 24-70-2.8, which I'm sure lots of photographers and videographers already have. We shot the entire video in a bare, you take a look at this BTS, all handheld. Yeah, but this time I shot raw, HQ. Okay, full resolution, and the 512 GB card said I can shoot about 37 minutes. Well, so it was heavy, but we also shot, of course, the proxies onto the SD, and that's what we are editing now. Well, again, a breeze. I mean, if you're a cinematographer, you know how cumbersome it is to add and remove an ND. It's like the full set has to come to a kind of a grinding halt. Somebody has to remove, clean, put an ND back, take readings and all that. Well, when you're working with this guy or these guys, the ND is available in the camera, okay? Right from 10 ND to 2 ND. Well, they are physical, NDs, which are going to be coming in front of the sensor. There is also a clear ND, and you have the works. So that makes your resetting to another light setup very, very easy. Now, you don't now require those cumbersome matte boxes. You can have a clip-on matte box with, let's say, a French flag, and you are ready to go. Besides taking, readings, light readings in the old-fashioned way, we were also keeping a close watch on the waveform. And trust me, all we had to do was to drag and drop the footage onto the timeline. When I checked the scope, I could see the right levels of black and ton of information from shadow to mid to the high that I can play with. This is a grader's dream. Usually, when you work with such big cameras, there are some, trade-offs. Like, chances I thought were that the AF will be a little bit of doubtful, but this is an initial model. I am sure it will improve with firmware upgrades, but still in that gym with this guy working in, blazing speeds, well, it did not bat an eyelid. It locked on to the focus like a mad dog biting. It never left the focus. So if you really want to upgrade, I think you should not be actually, if you're a cinematographer, videographer, well, you should not be buying another, let's say, an expensive hybrid camera. You should be buying a cinema camera. I seriously say that, because there were a very clear distinction between a cinema camera and a still photography camera. For whatever reason, best known to the marketing man, they became together. There were DSLRs, there were mirrorlesses. Now you can see a trend where a serious cinematographer or a filmmaker now asking for a professional cinema camera. Okay, you have all those terminologies which you are as a cinematographer are familiar with. You have the shutter angle, you have the gain, you have the audio control, full audio controls here, you have phantom power. The list goes on and on. But the proof of the pudding is in eating. So I like to play this small clip. I'm not claiming that they look fantabulous, but I really, really liked and actually surprised too as to what this camera can do in like such a limited time. What do you think of those videos? Please let us know in the comments. Like I said, I have no big claims, but I think what I got in that limited period of time is just blew us away. And like I said, this camera is going to be launched very soon in India. This is what you get in the box: a hand grip, a top handle, and the body. And as an introductory offer, You will also get a 512GB CF Express card along with a PL to RF mount adapter. Well, it is a user replaceable mount. It's very easy. Couple of screws comes off. The PL adapter goes in and you can work with a PL lens. But in case if you have any anxiety, well, visit your nearest service center. While you're having a coffee, they'll fix it for you and you will have a new camera with a PL lens adapter or lens mount. Besides those people whom Canon has targeted this camera to, like the music video producers, documentary filmmakers, OTTs and live production programs and all that, this also has an amazing virtual production capability. So these lens data can be read through, it can be kind of sent across to your Unreal and all that. And in fact, that is a domain which is really exploding now. So this camera is actually ready to kind of do that. Hope you like this video. If you have, please like, subscribe and share. And I'll see you soon in another video.